So some plates, depending on the width, have to be leveled, so that's part of my job, is to level the plates to make sure they're as flat as possible. So it's my job to work out how much pressure needs to be put on the plate and to ensure the best quality of the plate, and then decide which line it's going to go down. We've got two options. We've got a rotary line and a gill line, and that will depend on the particular plate on which line it goes down, and that's my job to coordinate that.
So we've got 3 marker offs, one for heavy plate, one for guillotine, one for rotary. Basically their job is to pick defects and okay the plate. If the plate gets okayed, they allocate it to an order. Once it's been allocated, they know how big to cut it.
Marker off, basically what we do is we get feed from the mill, which are plates, and we inspect and stencil and send down the line for process. We're trying to find defects, any type of defects, cracks, mechanical edge scabs, whatever there's on the plate. We walk out on the plate, obviously we isolate before we go out, follow our procedures, be safe. Once we find the defect, we try to eliminate it or send it for water repair.
My job position is NDT technician. It's a non-destructive testing, means we are not destructing the object. So basically I'm testing the plates in the bay and the horseshoe area and the heavy area ultrasonically, so that I can detect any internal defects like inclusions or gas porosity or laminations of the plate. And also it's according to our standards like Australian or European or American or any customer asking standard.
From there it goes to the shears, which trim the sides. So we've got guillotine side shears, so it's one at a time, or the rotary side shears, which trims both edges of the plate at the same time.
So behind me we have the guillotine line, so in particular number 1 shear. Number 1 is responsible for trimming the eastern side of the plate. So we use a straight edge to butt our plates up and ensure that everything's quite square. We give it a nice clean cut before the plate then rolls down to number 2 shear.
I am in 2 shear, so we take the western side of the plates off, trim it down to its necessary size depending on the requirements of the customer. So depending on what grade of the plate is or what the actual customer needs, they can either have one of 2 plates. They can either have a side trim plate, which is where we take the sides off, both western and eastern, or they can be sent a universal plate, which is where it's just topped and tailed.
Quite a loud department. It's very noisy here, day in, day out, so we have to ensure we do wear our correct PPE. We've got red rating hearing protection that we wear at all times, and all the other PPE you can see on me today. So hearing protection, eye protection, our hard hats, long sleeve, cotton drill clothing, and our safety boots.
From here, I will then send the plate down to end shear, which will trim the top and the tail of the plate, giving the correct length of the plate for the customer.
The end shear cuts off the test, crops the front, cuts the plate to size, and then we send it to the end bay.
Once we get it from end shear, we get it down to us. We label the plate first, then it helps identify the plate. So once it's in the bays, obviously as you can see, it's kind of hard to see when we're putting them into the bay. You can't see the top plate all the time, so with a label it actually helps us identify what the plate is. So once we've labelled it, we then have to allocate it to a bay. So depending on the size, so the length or the width, we have to kind of basically Tetris, trying to find what's going to be the best position to put those plates in the bay. Once we get it in there, we just kind of have to make sure we're putting it into the system to identify where the plate is located, so then dispatch, instead of them coming in here and looking at the plate, they can actually look at it on the system.
From the end bay, we move it to the dispatch area that needs to be in to get on like a wagon or a lorry to get out the door.
I work in dispatch. We sort of take the plates out and then we'll either put them on the wagons or we'll put them in the stacks, or we'll load them on PTs to go next door to the 78, or we put them on lorries. Yeah, it just depends where they need to go and what area they're going and what's on the plates.
We either do road or rail, basically, and that all depends on who the customer is, where it needs to go, and also depends on what the product actually is.
It's pretty unreal. Like, people, I think, is why I do the job I do.
The best part about working here is the people, hands down by a long shot.
People, yeah. You get really good people here, good environment, very team environment, so on the lines especially.
good people. That's the main thing.
Everybody's just here to do a job. It's great to work with such a diverse working group.